This is my oral history interview with Ye Dway.
Ye Dway.
Ye Dway, who is a famous puppeteer. Or I thought we might start with your childhood or your parents. If you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. My father, his name was Upodlat. In this country, U is necessary for a name, you see. And my mother's name is Tola Sri. And after being appointed as a government servant, he had to travel, you see. He had to move from town to town. So three of my eldest brothers, they were born in Shwebo, very far away from Mandalay. Very far from Mandalay, Shwebo. I was born in Mymyo, which is now called as Ulwen. That is name is May is Cardinal May, I think, the British officer. So Myo means town. So I was born in 1936 in Mymyo. My father, after reaching the age of about 5 years old, I attended a school. I don't know which school now. I forgot which school.
In Mymyo.
As a KG, kindergarten. And then my the only sister, we moved from, my parents moved from Mymyo to Yamatin, where the only sister was born.
Where is that town?
That is Yamatin.
Where is that?
In Upper Myanmar. She is now in Malaysia. She retired as a professor, as a Malaysian Kota Baru school, University or College or School of Medicine. She is now very happy with the Malaysians. and my youngest son, Cholat, Dr. Cholat, he spent 16 years in East Germany to be trained as an architect. No? Being being educated in East Germany means so many things. You see,
it does mean.
Yeah. And he is what you call the youngest one.
Okay.
The youngest brother.
Sorry, that was a brother.
Yes, the youngest brother was born in Chokse, not so far from the Mymyo, no? Mymyo, Mandalay, and then Yamatin, and then Chokse, all in the present Mandalay division, you see, Mandalay.
What area of the government did your father work in?
I forgot his position. I forgot his post.
Right. But how many children were there?
Altogether, I have four brothers.
Oh, 4 brothers. Okay.
4 brothers and 1 sister. The eldest one, he served as an ambassador of the Myanmar to the United States during the reign of Carter or something. I forgot which president of the United States. And the second one, he also spent about 16 years in Scotland.
Goodness.
Learning marine architecture and marine engineering. He is now very strange brother, you see. He spent 16 years in England, Scotland, without getting married to an English woman. But he came back and served as a governmental shipping company. Yeah, but he went to Japan to get 4 ships ordered by the government, and he spent only 3 months in Japan, and he got married to a Japanese woman. Very funny. So, and then...
and they live here?
So Now he is living in Singapore with his. He has two children, one boy and one girl. They are all doing fine. You see, they are rich. But I must tell you that I'm the only flagship of our family because I hate education. I just did not wish to learn, you see. But I somehow or other, I was matriculated. In about 1950, I even forgot the year when I was matriculated, you see. So I was just matriculated. I attended one of the colleges in Rangoon, but not without success.
Can you go back to your childhood? Any memories of your childhood?
Childhood days was a very unfortunate or very sad thing for my parents, you see, because when the war broke out in 1942 or 43 in this country, the war, the Second World War spread to this Burma, and at that time my parents were in Shwebo, and near Kambalu. Shwebo, about 70 miles from Shwebo. Kambalu, there's a very small town. There, my very famous writer by the name of Taipan Mawa, U Saintian, his name. He is a higher official than my father, and they were in Kambalu at that time, and they disagreed because U Saintian, the famous writer, he wished to go to the south, whereas for example, my father wished to go north to the north.
To avoid the Japanese?
To avoid the Japanese, and also to move to a safer place.
For the children, the family.
So, you think of it. Our parents with 6 children to look after, what do you do? And then at that time, my uncle and his family were with him in Kambalu, and also with his Kambalu family. Kambalu born U Tien Maung and his family were there. But my uncle's family and U Tien Maung's family, they sided with my father. They were they wish not disagree. They did not wish to follow U Saintian.
South.
Yeah. No. U Saintian was fortunately killed. The whole family. Because people in that area, they thought U Saintian has, he had in his possession the government's millions and millions of rupees, you see, in those days. They thought too much of U Saintian, you see. And U Saintian ordered about 15 bullock carts, and they went to another place, destination unknown, see, and that place. On the way, it was when it was dark. They wished they stayed at a small pavilion or something, wayside pavilion, rest house, and there when the whole family, they were killed.
By dacoits?
By dacoits. Let us say that the Bulldoggats people, they were all dacoits. They have guns, you see, so they killed.
And they thought he had a lot of money, but he...
Yeah, I do not know. But my father was lucky.
went north.
Because not, as an example,
Yeah, okay.
south and north. And then we moved southward, where we resided at what you call, Jaun means a place where a monastery was situated. And there's so many people and so many monks and nuns where they stayed around that what you call village or what, you see. So we reached a certain Jaun, Nepena Jaun. Nepena is a peaceful place, you see. And then we reached that place, and then we moved further in the jungle, you see, something like where the famous residing monk called first Tokhang Sayadaw, or presiding priest, resided there, you see. When we reached that Tokhang Jaun, it was very peaceful, no more troubles. My parents faced no more troubles at that place, and we were also very.
Did you have a house, or did you sleep in a tent?
No. So many monasteries, vacant monastery and vacant places. We resided as a place. That's a monastery.
So the family could stay there.
Yes. So many, about 5-6 families from Upper Myanmar, they were also resided there.
So there's no school or anything?
No school, but we attended that. Then the Japanese came.
Oh.
But we were lucky because the Japanese did not harm us. And a very strange place was that Jaun, that place, what you call a village of monasteries, was full of wild fowls, you see. They could easily kill them, they could easily cook them and eat them, you see. The Japanese, they just aim and die, bang, and then the fowls they kill. So many, they were, and one of the Japanese sergeants by the name of Mr. Hattori, he learned Burmese from my father. And after the war, he was appointed as a professor of Burmese at the Osaka University.
Goodness gracious.
And then when the war was over in about 1945, my father was served as an officer, not high or not very low officer. Let us say.
What, in the military?
No, just government servant.
Government servant, yeah.
At Sagaing.
Sagaing.
Sagaing and Sagaing Hills are very famous, no?
Yeah.
Sagaing Hills and Sagaing Jaun's monasteries are famous. And he was posted there, Sagaing, serving as an officer. And at that time, in 1946, I think, there was a pagoda called Pongyachin on top of a hill, it's Sagaing Hills. Pongyachin pagoda was situated on top of the hill, but due to the lack of electricity and some other means, you see, all the pagoda festival was held under at the foot of the hill. At that time, I saw my father took the three of us, I think 4 of us, the eldest ones, the eldest 3 and me, to the pagoda festival. And there, not according to the tradition, you see, because all dramatic performances or what you call puppet shows were given at night, were performed in night time. But at that time, according to various, I am not sure, according to various circumstances, the pagoda festival was held at the foot of the pagoda, the hill. So there I saw the dramatic performance with a huge cutout figure of the white elephant. I think the theatrical actors was Srimantimam, very famous one, who performed that play, Vesandra, one of the great Jatakas, you see. He was performing with a huge cutout figure of a white elephant. He was a generous king, you see. He gave so many things, even his children to Brahmins, that sort of story. And also, I also saw a puppet performance in which I saw the villain puppet kicking the prince puppet in the kowtow position, something like this, begging him not to kill him or torturing him, torture him, you see. He kicked so hard that the prince puppet fell backwards, you see. Let us say somersaulted backwards, and it fell about 1 yard from the original place in the same kowtow position, you see. I was really surprised. So before the war, I liked the music very much. I heard the music being played from the radio, the PBS, Burma Broadcasting Service. My father had a collection of records, and I heard from the gramophone, or you can say phonograph. I had the drum circle, great maestro, sing with us, music, and so I like them. But on seeing the dramatic show and the puppet show, I fell in love with the.
It changed your life.
What?
It changed your life.
Not actually, not yet, because I fell in love with the Burmese orchestra music, traditional orchestra music.
Had you ever seen a show like that
before?
No,
not before.
That's the first time.
No, yeah. And also I fell in love with the sad drama, and also with the Ye Dway puppet show. And then there was a famous pagoda, Ngataji, in that town, you see, Sakai. And every year the pagoda festival was held annually by that pagoda trustees, you see. And my aunt, daughter May was her name. She likes dramatic shows very much, and she took me to that Sakai Ngataji Pagoda Festival every year. About, I think, three or 4 years, I don't know, I'm not sure. She took me there, and always the Srimantimam, the great Srimantimam troupe was performed there, you see. I like that Srimantimam very much, you see. I saw he was not a handsome guy, you see, but the way he performed, the way he delivered his dramatic speeches, very attractive, you see, very, very, I found him very great, you see, a great artist.
And you're only 11 or 12 then, right? Something like that?
About 11.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with Puez, you see. Puez means any kind of entertainment, orchestra's entertainment, or sad live dramatic entertainment, and Ye Dway, and everything. And we also have a Nyeng. And Yang is like devoted to the singing and dancing of female dancers, female artists, and the two or four comedians. They sing, the female artists, they sing and they dance. Let us say they entice. No, they were seductive. The way they speak, the way they sang, and the way they danced, all look seductive to the spectators, particularly the male spectators. Also, the female spectators also like them because they must learn how to make their husbands love them. And then the orchestra. Our orchestra is very much different from the Western orchestra because the orchestra musicians, they played, and we have the right to improvise. Myanmar is the only country where performing artists have the right to improvise. The actors, actresses, the singers, the musicians, they have the right to improvise. Improvisation means extemporization.
Right.
That is a very strange thing, you see.
Yeah.
We have the right to improvise.
It could be different every night.
Even not so performing artists who had not learned the proper the art. They knew how to improvise, and they knew how to make the spectators like them. In that way, very funny for us, and very strange for our performing arts. You see, so they had the right to improvise. You can learn the art of singing in a way as your teacher taught you, but you may improvise. You may a singer may improvise, and then you may learn the art of dancing from a teacher, but you have the right to improvise. Very singing, dancing, and playing of music.
So
that
this
is
all
a
had
very strange thing.
This all had a big impact on you as a young boy.
Yes. So I really fell in love with performing arts.
There's no musical ability or a dramatic ability elsewhere in the family?
No. My father played the piano and also the violin. I mean the Western violin.
Was that unusual at that time for Burmese to...
But very strange for him, you see. From Sakai, we moved to about a year to Pakoku, and then to Pakoku we moved to Mandalay, and then we moved from Mandalay to Tatong, Lower Myanmar. Tatong is in the present Mon state, you see. And as a district commissioner, my father, his first post as a district commissioner, we call it in DC, in the town.
But that's quite a senior position.
At that time,
yeah,
district manager, district commissioner.
Yeah, it's an important job.
But above him, the commissioner.
British.
No. Or Myanmar people were appointed as high posts at that time, not during the pre-war days, you see. So in the town there was the house of the built for the district commissioner post people. There was a piano. Without touching the piano for many years, you see, he began to play it on the piano, the classical Myanmar classical ones. I was surprised. And then I also tried my hands at the piano, and he gave me what you call the Burmese music notes written by U Sang-wen, but not in a what you call stuffed notation, but in very chart. You see, it is written in chart system. C began with a 2 lines, very close line. F with a what you call wavy line. like that. I played it well, and I learned how to. And in about
with no lessons, or
no, not without teachers.
You had no teacher?
No need. My father just taught me how to read that old system, not system, invented by one U Sang-wen during the pre-war days. U Sang-wen system of chart notation, and I played the classical ones. You see, and then my father moved to when he was serving as district commissioner in the town, our leaders were assassinated. All of them were assassinated. And then we moved from the town to Molaming. In the British English way, you pronounce Molaming. Molaming or something. Not Ming. M-Y is not possible for you, I think. Molaming. You just add your what you call. So in Molaming, the independence was granted. My father and his superior commissioner, and they celebrated the Independence Day celebrations in Molaming. And then after serving for about 2 years in Molaming, in 1950, my father moved from Molaming to Yangon.
Transferred again?
Yeah.
I don't think I've interviewed anyone who's moved so many times.
Yeah. Being a government servant, it's a must for them to move from place to place. And he served as a secretary of the Ministry of the present Kayar state. In those days, Kayar state was called Karani state.
Okay.
Karan means red Karan, you see. Karanis and Karanda, they are almost the same, see. So he served as the secretary of the Ministry of the Karani state.
Right.
And then at that time, the UNU was our Prime Minister. And then when the Ministry of Culture was established, he was given the post of the first secretary of the Ministry of Culture in 1952. In 1952, the Ministry of Culture was established, you see. And then, at that time, then I began to. I firstly learned in the proper way. I learned classical music, playing on the piano by a famous pianist called Siam Mai. I also learned Western classical notation, staff notation, and my first teacher of Western music was a Filipino lady. We were neighbors, you see. Her name was Mrs. Melendez. At that time, there was a sizable Filipino community in Yangon. So many Filipinos. Even my friend was a Filipino. His name is Carlos Melendez. And we were staying at the same quarter in Myanmar, not so. Myanmar is now a place of what you call rich man and famous man. And we were friends, Carlos, Melendez, and we were great friends. And then I used to go to his house so many times, and he came to my house so many times. And then I learned later that he could teach me.
Wow, a boy,
but not play the piano. What you call very well. See, he told me that she could teach me, but she could not play very well. You see, so I learned the Western stuff notation from Mrs. Melendez. I learned for about 2 years. I could play the classics. You see.
Were you the only child in the family interested in music?
Yes. Oh, my sister. She also learned to play music from Mrs. Melendez, and then she. Firstly, I proved to be a very what you call a poor learner, whereas she was a good learner. You see, she played quite well, and then when I began to be a good player, and then she lost interest. Where is my sister? And then I really liked the classics, you see. And then my Mrs. Melendez told me, you could play better than me. I could teach you no more, and you must find a new teacher. And that situation was solved by my father, because at that time there were 2 Mahayana priests, you see. One is a Latvian priest, Mahayana, and one was a Estonian. The Latvian priest, his name was Frederick Lustig, something like Lustig, very, very nobility sounding name, no? And then my father met them, the Latvian priest. He was awarded the poet laureate. How do you pronounce?
Yeah, that's it.
By USA or something.
Wow.
He composed so many
famous
poems in English.
Yeah.
I could give you, if you have time, I could give all his compositions. Wow. In English. But sometimes you need you may also need a dictionary.
Even for an English speaker.
Some words are very high flown, you see. So I learned the piano from him.
More. Yeah.
Oh, yes, he played our house used to be a wooden bungalow, you see.
Yeah.
Very bungalow with 4 rooms, adjacent rooms, 4 rooms, and the whole what do you call?
Veranda or the middle room?
What do you call the front space was what do you call, drawing room, dining room, all attached, you see. Dining, drawing, and my father's office room, and also the shrine room. Shrine room was separate, little smaller, you see. And so when he played the piano, that Latvian priest, our house shook, you see, like this and like this. Oh, I like particularly his playing of Liszt, Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2. Oh, I liked it very much. I played it, not very good. I like his playing. Then he moved from not so far from us to another, what you call, to a very distant place. Not beneath what you call the Sweetagong Hillock.
Right.
He moved to a very further place, so she no more could not come. So according to them, according to his Pali name was Ananda, and his name was Frederick Lustig or something. Frederick and Henry or something Lustig. And I think he belonged to a family of nobility family. And then the older Estonian priest, he did not speak English. According to him, Buddhism somehow reached their place when Asoka sent missionaries to various parts of Europe,
The world, yeah.
and Greece, including Greece, I think. But according to him, the missionaries somehow, lost their way, lost their destination, and reached Latvia and Estonia or something. According to them, that the Buddhism reached their country by the missionaries sent by Asoka. So, and then, can I continue?
Sure.
Pardon me.
Sure.
And then, have you heard of Professor T.H. Luce? British historian. My father met him, and my father told me that on every Saturday, a musical gathering was held at his residence. So you were invited to go.
What year are we now, approximately? With the 50s?
And about before my matriculation.
Okay, because 36 you're born, so
and then before
52, before 52.
No, before 50. Let us say. Yes. We have 52, 53, 54. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I went on every Saturday. I went to the house of Professor T.H. Luce.
And you're the only one in your family interested in doing so?
Yeah. There were so many foreigners, so many Europeans. Before playing a musical piece, he explained about the history of that piece.
Wow.
Who composed that musical piece, about on what theme he wrote, and what's historical background of that piece. And he played that. Professor Luce had two old phonograph, 78 round per minute, like that old phonograph, but very high and very loud sounding sound, you see. Old phonograph with a phonograph needle, and he also had the radiogram.
I can remember those from my childhood.
With the long play records, you see.
Yeah,
and he played. And then I even could appreciate the operas. Not other Myanmar people. They may like classical music.
Yeah.
But they won't be able to appreciate the operas, you see.
Italian or French.
German or Italian or French operas, you see. They may sound very,
strange to their ear.
Very strange and unpleasant to their ears, you see. So I even liked the operas, you see. I don't know what was going on, what were they singing, or what
Did
was
you like
meant.
the sound and the...
But I liked them.
Yeah.
But I think Professor Luce was quite conservative. When he went back to England, London, and then the rest of the European community, they played other lighter stuff, like Verity and so many pieces. But when he was In Yangon, Rangoon, no, that was not allowed.
Which did you prefer?
No, he played something like Fidelio, Beethoven's Fidelio.
Right. But what did you prefer?
I like all of them.
All of them.
All of them.
So were you the only child that was attending all these Saturday functions?
Yes.
All the rest are
But
adults?
other also, and also on Mondays. At that time, the visiting professor of English, he was a Welshman, you see, Mr. Atlam. On Mondays, and the play reading, party was held, you see, on Mondays. And Mr. Atlam, he brought books played by Shakespeare and Bernard Shaw and something like that, and all borrowed from the British Council Library. We read the plays together, you see. Sometimes, once I was given the role of a Russian general, something, Bernard Shaw's. I forgot which play we were reading, you see. I read in a Russian accent. Professor Luce and Mr. Adler, they even praised me for my imitation of the Russian accent.
But you're still a kid, really, aren't you? You're still a child. You're not finished school.
At that time, not yet matriculated.
Yeah.
Not yet matriculated. No. In 1951, I was matriculated.
Okay.
51.
So did you notice any difference before independence and after independence? Was there any difference in your life?
Our country, economically speaking, our country was very well, very well, a very good situation. Economically, family with 500 salary per month, you could spend like a rich man, not yet well-to-do.
Right.
500 just you could eat, you could
feed a family.
You could feed a family. Even 350 just in those days. That's very good. I think my father received about, as a secretary, he received about 8,000 chats, I think. He bought a household 12. Household 14 is quite a big car.
Yeah.
Instead, he bought household 12 for 8,000 chats, I think. Very cheap, very, what do you call it? Things are very good in those days.
And you're still not interested in education at that time? You're just going to school, but you're not trying?
I attended school. Firstly, Mrs. Nelson's school. I attended that school, and then teachers training, college, practicing school. I'm not a very good student. I never tried learning, you see. As I told you, I'm the only black sheep of our family. I hated education.
And the other children, your other siblings all went to university, and
they were
they
were hardworking. They were good learners. My brothers, who served as the ambassador of the Myanmar to the United States, his English was excellent. My second brother, who spent 16 years in Scotland, his English was excellent.
But it sounds like education for your parents was important.
Yes.
In that they...
Only thing is, I just hated education.
Okay, so when you matriculated, what did you do?
When I matriculated, I forgot to mention one important event of my life, because in 1951, beginning from about 51, I borrowed books from books borrowed from the USIS, United States Information Service Library,
Yeah.
and also British Council Library.
Yeah.
I also, and then puppetry somehow or other came into my mind, you see. So I read books on puppetry, and then I really wished to become a professional puppeteer. Um, the book on puppetry, entitled Marionettes, A Hobby for Everyone, written by Mabel and Les Beaton, American puppeteers. I think they were not professional, I think. I really recall my enthusiasm in puppetry.
And you knew that was where you were going to...
Yes, I've read so many books on puppetry, and then at that time, one of my friends, he was a Mon nationality. He was a sculptor, and he stayed at my house. Then he, with his assistance, I began to make experimented with the foreign types of puppetry, shadow, glove, and rod,
yeah.
and also the string type. He made puppets for me, and then I experiment manipulating them. And then,
what did your parents think about this? That you were crazy?
No. And here I must change my subject. Once my father told me that he met the American ambassador, and if I wished, I was supposed to go to America and learn music. I did not go there. I was such a foolish and stupid and stubborn fellow, you see, when I was young. My father told me that you are a strange boy, because you did not know how to do things which are right, what are good, but he told me that instead you wish to do things which are not inappropriate, something like that. My mother told me so many times about me, you see. What you do, something like this, you see. And then I learned from a puppeteer the art of string puppetry, in beginning from about 1963. I learned the art of puppet manipulation, and then I forgot to tell you that my father, and then after about a year later, he told me that he was going to send me to a Moscow conservatory. I did not go there. I was such a stupid man.
Refused to go?
Yes, I did. And then, lastly, when he knew that I was interested in puppetry, he told me he met a Czechoslovak ambassador, and I could go to Prague to learn puppetry. I did not go there. No, I was such a stupid man. I was such a stupid and useless fellow in those days, you see. And then, in 1965, when our military man, Air Force
Not Nay
Air
Win.
Force, not Ye Dway.
He was 62.
His name was Taung Dan, Air Force commander.
Commodore or whatever.
At that time he was serving as a Minister of Culture, and he went to Perak and he invited he requested the Czech government to send 2 puppeteers to Yangon and teach the what you call international puppet arts to us. And in 1965, 2 lady Czechoslovak puppeteers by the name of Mrs. Anna Dr. Eva Fortiskova and Mrs. Jana Havlikova.
My goodness.
They came to Rangoon, and they conducted 3 months long puppet training course. And I was one of the 9 students who learned who attended that course. My interest in theatrical puppet interest turned into practical interest, you see. And then at the suggestion of the two Czech lady puppeteers, the government, the Ministry of Culture, formed a sort of practicing puppet troupe with me as a leader. And then
you're still quite young, aren't you? You're only in
that was in 1965.
Yeah.
And then I was given the leader of that duty of leading that troupe with eight pupils of the 2 Czech. Eldest one was very old. He was from Mandalay, so he was not included. And I wrote plays, and we made puppets together. There were 2 women
troops,
2 women members, and we all made the puppets together, and I wrote the plays, and we performed at about 30 schools in Yangon.
How did you survive?
20, at least 20.
You went to all the different schools. But who paid you to do this?
We were given monthly salary for the 150 charge for the rest of the members of the little practicing troupe, and we 300. So we performed so many, very successful.
And if you'd been working as a civil servant at that time, would you have earned?
Only for a year. And then in 1965, my father died. Died of hemorrhage.
Okay, brain.
How do you pronounce?
Hemorrhage.
Hemorrhage.
Yeah.
Yes. He died of hemorrhage.
Because you were then you were just younger than 30.
That was in 1965.
Almost 30. 29.
And then?
You were 29 then.
Yes. And then we performed at about 20 schools, moving from one. Portable stage was built for us.
You designed it, or?
And yes. Oh no. One of the East German Ritani. He was a stage architect.
Oh, wow.
He designed quite light, but not portable in the real sense.
Yeah.
You see? But so many things. And dance and drama department gave us the lighting and sound equipment. You see, and we used the sound equipment and lighting equipment provided by the dance and drama troupe of the music award called cultural ministry. It was a great success. And then when my father died in 1965, 1966, and then I what do you call? I retired from that troupe, and when I what do you call? Retirement is not a very good word, you see.
No.
What do you call? that troupe was disbanded.
Right.
Well, without my leadership, without my what do you call?
If you weren't there.
No. Then I went out from that troupe. With my mother's permission, in a way, my father won't allow me to form a troupe, you see. But with my mother's permission, I founded a troupe, directed and managed my own troupe, the Go Out Marionette troupe. Firstly, I use a portable stage. Oh, I must tell you, I am a bit of an electrician, you see. I experimented with I did not knew the what do you call? It was the water dimmers were invented many years ago in the United States and other countries, even in Australia or England. I did not know. Only after many years I found out in the old books on theater but I invented this infantry. I invented the water dimmers. Firstly, I tried the plastic bucket and the one electrode at the bottom of the bucket.
Yeah.
And one wire serving as another electrode.
Yeah.
And I poured water in that, and then I added a little salt, and then I tried with a what do you call, table lamp. It worked well. You see?
Yeah.
It worked very well. The water dimmers. Then when the bulb suddenly was a little red at that time, firstly, and then it turned yellow, and then white. Oh, it was wonderful. I was very glad and happy, you see. And then my first performance was given in Pyamana, the present
Yes.
in Naypyidaw.
Yeah.
At that time, no Naypyidaw, only Pyamana. My first show, my performance. Before my performance, my friend was a Pyamana born. He was born in Pyamana, and he took me to Pyamana. His name was Win Nine, also Winsway. He told me, I asked him whether there was a ceramic industry in Pyamana. He told me one. I went to see that ceramic man, you see. He told me he was also a matriculator, you see. And I asked him to make 6 ceramic tubes, you see, with a diameter about 8 inches inside diameter, with a hole on the top of it, and about 18 inches long. All must be glazed inside out.
Sure.
You see, and he made 8 ceramic cylinders. What do you call? It's for me. And when I reached Pyamana, I went to fetch those porcelain things, ceramic things, and I built a box, ordinary wooden box.
Right.
I placed them with what you call
dividers,
with not to move Wide
dividers,
transportation.
Yeah.
From when moving from one place to another, not to move, or not to make
Raffle
them
and
crash. So I put what you call wooden partition, and from Yangon I bought about six copper or brass tubings used for cutting, hanging. I took them to Jemina. I put wooden handles to them, and then I made a what you call very, very efficient and very really working water timbers. So you see, before the show is to begin, before the show, the house lights must be slowly dimmed out. And that the orchestra, when the orchestra plays appropriate music, the house light was showed slowly to 1,000 watt bulbs. You see, so many big bulbs, slowly dim, and then with the end of the music, all are dim out. You see, and then the first item was when the Buddha attained enlightenment. There was a song written by the famous composer in the Riwatis. His name was Swedanyo. After the first introductory verse, the curtain was raised. And then you could see the Buddha with a halo revolving at his back, you see. The Buddha on the throne, and with you could please imagine the leaves are what called with nets, you see, nets attached to the nets, leaves, and then the banyan what called tree, and then at the back of the Buddha's head, that was plywood cut out Buddha. One 3-volt or 6-volt bulb was attached. See, take. You can say take to the back, and it was attached connected to the transformer, 6-volt transformer, and then the bulb was and I also use a small reflector of the flashlight. That's very very, very beautiful. See, with the halo, and halo was made of a round plastic, thread plywood, and with all the sequence of gold colored, yellow colored, silver colored, red colored, and so on with bands of sequence, different colored sequence were pasted on that. And when it revolves, it looked very much nice, see, with the halo. And then when at the end of the introductory verse, introductory song, and then the Mara, have you heard of Mara?
Yes.
Mannat. Yeah. It was just you can say it in his, you can say Buddha's own, imagination. About doing this or that, doing right thing or wrong thing. Something is like that, you see. But it was like a legend. It turned into legend. At that time, the Mara with 6 hands on the back of the elephant appeared with its demons and so many. See? I also use stakes. I copied that from the visiting Australia Marionette Theatre of Australia.
Really? They came here that early?
That
When we're talking the 60s.
1965.
Wow.
That troupe came here. At that time, they staged a sort of little fella painting. The director's name was Peter Scriven, but an Aboriginal boy who met animals and Australian
Kangaroos
bush animals and all that. I forgot the name.
Yeah.
I forgot the story.
I'm amazed you remember so many names.
No, and then they used a stage called what do you call overhead bridge.
Okay.
Overhead bridge.
Yeah.
Made completely of aluminium.
Right.
Aluminium could be made to as strong as steel. Steel,
Right.
you see.
Yeah.
So they use an overhead bridge.
Yeah.
I use the same. I copied that, and the German returnee architect, he designed and built the overhead bridge for me. So, according to our our stage techniques, the stage was here. The spots were used in front.
Yeah.
The stage was here.
Yeah.
And then the stage, you have to climb up there from the to side ladders. You see?
Yeah. Get to the
Or
top.
about 20 could go on top of that.
Goodness.
About 20
Must be
manipulators
pretty
and
squash.
vocalists, they all could climb up that stage. You see, and then at the right beneath the stage, overhead bridge was this height, and there's a puppet stage, about only 1 foot high. A puppet stage was consisted of puppet boxes,
Right.
about thickness, about 1.5 foot,
Yeah.
1.5 feet, and they were laid in front of that stage. That's served as the puppet stage, you see.
Yeah.
And then for the puppet stage, there were rows of overhead, lights and
Yeah.
side lights and the foot lights, and also the two very big we call as follow spots. See? They were used very quite about 15 yards from above the stage. Proscenium stage opening. The two men, they operated the follow spot. Very, very brilliant. Very, very strong. Strong follows.
Yeah.
And after the end of the introductory verse and the first verse, and then the Maharaj and his followers came, and he demanded the Buddha to leave the throne and to leave, because when the banyan tree was very young, and when the throne was appeared, he also aimed to be a Buddha. He also wished to be a bit of Buddha, and he wanted no rivals, you see. So he demanded the Buddha to leave the scene, you see. And then all his demons followed him, and I received the Aboriginal with a big head, which Mr. Scriven gave to me as a present, see. He looked funny, see, and terrible to the young boys who were close to the stage, you see. they were afraid, and they also wished they were. They looked funny. It looked funny to them, you see. Whenever the puppet jumped towards them, near them, they were. I used that puppet, very effective. See.
So you had your own puppet troupe from 65.
No. I
So
was wrong in mentioning that.
Yeah.
My puppet troupe was formed actually in 1966.
66.
My memory was sometimes very bad. You see?
Seems pretty good to me.
Yes, and then after the second verse, we call it Vasundari, the god of the earth, I think. God of the earth and the sea. He appeared with the music, to the appropriate music, and he asked Mana to withdraw, but he refused. He said the same dialogue, see, that he also wished to be the Buddha, a god, and he said that the god of the earth. He said no. The banyan tree and the throne appeared because of the Buddha's his virtue of his past existences. They appeared out of nowhere. So you must go. But Manat refused. And then after the third verse, I forgot to mention that at the stage immediately underneath the stage, the projectors were used. You see,
Right.
Projectors. They're still projectors as well as moving projectors. Moving means moving clouds and moving sceneries, and
Right.
you see. So after beginning of that opera, you can say this item, just a scene of forest was shown, see, and at the what you call, it is the stage, stage underneath, immediately underneath that stage, the projectors were placed.
Yeah.
And then with the lighting of separate lighting or overhead lighting, like with three colors, white, red, and blue, and the backdrops, which could be dropped and then
Raised. Change the scene.
Raised. They were about eight
Different sceneries.
Eight backdrop sceneries.
Right.
They were used. They were being small compared to the real things. They could be raised and lowered.
Yeah.
Easily. So for those backdrops, different separate lighting system was used. And then at the back of the stage, there was a white screen. You call it cyclorama, I'm not sure. Cyclorama also, when the Maras, after the end of the third verse, all the Maharaj and his followers, what do you call? Oh, there was a ultraviolet tubes.
Right.
And then what do you call? Water, a piece of cloth, a long cloth with waves. What rays, you see? And the ultraviolet tubes make it very
like the sea.
Very like natural, you see, like a sea.
Yeah.
And then on the background, white background, the slowly the disappeared. What you call projection of a forest slowly disappeared, and the water waves were shown. You see, something like this.
It's all improvisation.
Yes, yes. And then all not traditional. All the Maharaj and his all they, let us say, they were washed away.
Right.
They were washed away, and also the god of the earth also vanished slowly.
Why?
No more, not necessary for him to stay there, because after his ultimatum, they all disappeared. You see, and the water, all were flooded, the whole scene was flooded with the water coming up, and then all disappeared. And then the cutting was lower.
Curtain comes down.
Yeah, cutting lower. And then I used 3 Christmas lights at the back. They were very dim, you see, very dim, because it could, destroy the effect of the projection on the white screen. So when the cutting was slowly raised, and you can see that so many devas coming down from above, and then the kings and his queens and princess, his daughter and his and so on, and then at the right, the ministers coming in, and the general, they are coming slowly, and then they take their places and they make their gesture of obeisance, and then 3 candles were placed at that time. Before that scene, 3 candles, 2 wires were
Bound together.
You might bear the heat a little.
Yeah.
They were attached by heat to the wires, 2 wires, 2 copper wires that they were attached. And then at the top, little of the wax was removed.
This is your electrical ability.
Making a little pool,
right.
A little pool, see?
Yeah.
So before that scene, one stage hand, he put little of the petroleum into the cavities, or into very small cavities.
Yeah.
And there were fuses.
Yeah.
Fuses.
Yeah.
Joining the
different
2 electrodes.
Yeah.
And then we pray to the Lord Buddha, and then the center candle light up. Lighted up.
Magic.
Little bit of magic, you see, electrical magic. And then with the Dhamma law, we pay respect to the Buddha's law, second one. But at that time, the puppet of the celestial nut, celestial spirit, he somehow, it appeared that he lighted the candles with him.
It made it look like he'd done it.
Yes. But the 3 candles, and then Sangha, the monk order, the Sangha, they lighted. It was a very, very beautiful, scene.
You remember it so vividly, don't you?
Yeah. So when we recited something like that, religious verse, and then when the verse was over, the cutting was lower, and all were removed. You see, at that time the male dancer and the female dancer, they danced. Firstly, the male dancer tried to kiss the female dancer like this. And then second time, the song was sung, a very lively song written by the same composer. Second time, the prince, the female dancer, put his arms forward, and the female dancer just jumped backwards on him, and he.
Is that the end?
That is so. This number was not traditional. Such a.
And you wrote that? Did you?
No, not like written, but brother of that Sri Dai Nyo.
Yeah.
Sri Dai Mye. He suggested some theatrical troupe did that one before.
So tell me about the troupe and why you stopped it.
No. And then second year we call it dance drama, or you can say opera. In we used to call it opera. Yeah. T-A, not R-A. For after that, went to the Buddha scene, traditional, on the first night, the spirit portress, marionette of the spirit portress was performed. It is a traditional one on the first night. On the successive nights, the dance was called Dance of the Handmaiden, Palace Maiden. On the very short, traditionally speaking, they last about an hour, at least half an hour.
Yeah.
But we try to minimize duration. And then, traditionally speaking, we stage the Himavanta or Himalaya forest scene. Forest. I don't know, my teeth are missing. Forest scene. You see?
Correct.
The first one is Dance of the Horse. Do you want to hear the traditional beliefs about that?
Yeah.
According to the Burmese Myanmar belief, the first to appear is in the universe is the constellation of the horse. The horse's head, Aswani, Atawadi in Burmese way. Yeah. Aswani was the first creation of the universe. So, the dance of the horse. And then the scene of Himalaya, Himawanda, in Myanmar way, we pronounce Himawanda forest scene. The other creatures are the dancers of the monkey is a second to appear. He dance, you see. And that
is that like Ramayana or?
No, not connected to the Ramayana. And it is purely the Burmese belief of universe or something like that. Borrowed from Hindus, I think. Borrowed much from the
Ramayana.
No, Ramayana.
I know, but they also borrow from the Indians.
No. Only the dance of after the dance of the horse, dance of the monkey. And sometimes, and then the two demons.
Demons, yes.
Two demons, dance of the two demons. They dance, they greeted each other, and then they looked and in the four directions, whether the enemies were around or something like that. And then they greeted each other and they danced. And then they fought. And when their fighting scene was over, they vanished. Because they could jump long distances. They could jump to a great height. See?
Well, magic, right?
Yeah. And then horse, monkey, the two demons, and then the Garuda and the dragon. They appeared and they fought, and then finally Garuda was always the winner. He jumped on the serpent, dragon, and they vanished. Sometimes he carried the serpent like this and vanished.
And how long is the whole show?
The whole night.
The whole night?
The whole night affair.
For hours?
There's so many. Or usually a show, a dramatic or a puppet show began usually at 9:30. At earliest 9. In those days, 9 or 9:30.
Right.
And ended up at 6 early in the morning.
In the morning, all through
It
the
is
night.
a must for all dramatic.
So that's been your life?
Yes. About 8 years I spent that life.
And do people pay to come to it?
Yeah. We have theatrical contractors.
Right.
They hired us. They did the selling of the admission
right
tickets.
Yeah.
And the selling of the for the match.
Right.
Match place on
And
the
then they
already
provide
place.
food
And also the selling of tickets for the folding chairs.
Right.
At the back of the theater. And also they sold tickets for the admission tickets for the adults and for the children. That is their business. See, they hired us, they paid us at the price agreed upon by them and by us, and then sometimes we perform ourselves. Myself, I asked some members of the troupe to do the selling, and I also do what you call
the acting.
To admit spectators into the hall theater.
Like usher, what do you call it?
Usher in the spectators.
Yeah.
Not really the. Most of our theaters, so-called theaters, were all made of bamboo and thatch.
Right.
Temporary structures, you see. So they were built with thatch for the roofing. But usually the stage.
And were you performing like 7 nights a week or 6 nights a week or?
Usually at a town, about at least three nights at a town.
In a row?
Yes.
You must be exhausted.
No, yes.
Exhausted if you're doing.
They're really exhausted for you, I think, not for us.
Not for you, because you love it.
Yes, because
and was this
it was our livelihood.
Yeah. So was it enough for you you obviously got married, and was it enough for you to provide, food for the family?
Yes, quite.
It was
quite,
good.
Quite paying.
Right.
Not so much.
Yeah, but comfortable.
Yes.
And why did you stop it?
And then, frankly, I knew how to make people like my shows. Some writers, they claimed that it was already dying. That puppet theater was also dying. You see, in a very, not only in a steep decline. They believed, like Dr. Tiao, he wrote in the Burmese drama that puppet theater was not already dying, you see. Not in those days. Already there was one puppet troupe by the name of Shevo Demon's troupe in Manila, and two in Yangon, most famous troops are what you call, the one in Yangon is called Pongnabian and my troop.
Yeah.
They were doing fine, very well. They were touring almost the length and breadth of our.
What was the name of your troop?
The Kong Ao. The Kong means Yangon in old sense.
Yeah.
Ao means successful.
Okay.
Frankly speaking, we must consult astrologer or the one or the man.
Choice of the name.
What you call, who knew lot about astrology.
Yeah.
We must consult whether the name was appropriate for the troop or for me or for my troop or not. I did not consult. The Go astrologically speaking, is not spelled zero. I did not consult any astrologer or astrologer who was well versed in astrology. No. I did not consult any of my friends.
Well, it sounds like you didn't need it.
No.
It still went well.
No. It was really, but I was crazy. I was crazy because about half of the proceeds obtained for a year, half was meant for my family.
Yes.
Other half, sometimes more, I spent for the next year's innovations.
Right.
So many.
Making the sets and things like that.
So
you stopped because it became no longer economic?
No, not economically speaking. I was not. Sometimes I was crazy. I spent a lot.
Okay, so you didn't run it very well as a business.
No. I did not know how to make money. Although I knew how to make the people like my shows.
Yeah.
I must tell you that sometimes even the big live theatrical companies, they were afraid of my troop. You see?
I'm sure.
Really. Sometimes, let us say, Macquarie, there was a very big town in the Macquarie division.
Yeah.
There was a famous Macquarie Pagoda Festival, and I performed with about three live dramatic troupes, and they were afraid of me because people were really liked my shows.
Yes.
They were afraid of me.
How many people did you employ in
about 40.
40 people, full time.
And I used 3-ton lorries, or at least 3-ton 2 lorries, or 5-ton is better, because one lorry is for the upper personnel.
Yeah.
Upper personnel. For the other lorries, I also use a piano for the modern play. For the modern play, I use a modern band with a piano, one violinist for the.
So they carried a piano.
Yes.
To every
piano, because for tragic scenes, this one is necessary.
Right.
Violin is necessary.
But you're amending Burmese with Western music.
Yes.
Yeah. Using Western music.
Yes. And then piano, violin, one trumpeter, one clarinetist.
So are these people all full time working for you?
Yeah.
Full time.
Not really full time. They were paid on nightly basis.
Yes, but they have to travel around with you when you go away.
And then the drummer. Five musicians, modern musicians were used, employed, and about 7 traditional musicians. They travel with another lorry.
Right.
With their instruments, with the traditional instruments, and also the piano, as well as a generator.
Generator, yeah, because you were doing in the villages.
It was necessary for us.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes we performed at a
Village.
or at a village or a pagoda festival without electricity.
Yeah.
So we use 2 lorries, 3-ton lorry or 5-ton is better.
This is a big business.
Big, very big business.
And so you stopped because it...
Because firstly, I got fed up with my business.
Okay.
Very, very tiring business, tiring job. And also, I also knew, although I knew how to make people like my puppet show, I did not know how to make money.
Right, so it was economically draining.
One thing is to spend too much for the next year.
Right.
Coming year.
And meanwhile, you had children?
Yes.
You married?
Three, yeah.
And was your wife supportive of this strange life?
She helped me for making of costumes for my puppets. She was a lovely lady.
Is she still with us?
No. She died in 2015.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
And children? How many children?
Children, 3. Biggest and eldest and youngest, they were girls.
Right.
The present one is a boy. The youngest one died many years ago.
The youngest girl.
Yeah.
So there's a daughter, eldest daughter, and then a son.
Eldest and youngest are the daughters. The middle one is the present one. He was a son. He is a son.
So who's left with you now? The son and the daughter?
Only I live with my son.
Okay, there's a daughter too.
No, the eldest one is she lived with her husband and her.
And where's she? In Yangon?
No, yes, in Kamaya.
Okay. So when you stopped I'm just looking for the year you stopped doing the troupe. Was
1973.
Okay. So what have you? There's been many years since 1973. So
1973, I began to write. I began to write articles in both English and Myanmar, which appeared in the newspapers and magazines.
What did you write on?
On Myanmar performing arts.
Myanmar performing arts.
Let's see. I wrote mostly in English.
Is there a reason?
Firstly, I wrote on the conventions of the Myanmar Puppet Theatre, and then the history of the Myanmar Puppet Theatre, and then and also the live theatre, and so many articles.
So this is preserving the history for the country.
Yes.
Is there any puppet troupe left?
No, very unfortunately, no really seriously formed puppet troupes exist no more. No more exist.
It's gone.
No.
That's very sad for the country.
Only live dramatic troupes, they will perform the traditional play. No more.
No more either.
No. Very, very it's a shameful situation. Not only for the live theatre, for the country, for our culture. No. By about 1970, one actor, he began with a all night item called stage show. All the modern stuffs. They sang modern songs based on international songs, American songs. You see, at that time they performed something like break dance, like Michael Jackson. Very awful, very shameful thing, very bad thing, I must confess. And then they believed that the performance of the duet dances, Napadwa, the item of duet songs and dances was quite, beautiful for them to preserve the tradition. Only the dancers, singing and dances of the male and female dancers singing, and then the clowning of the comedians, that took place for about 2-3 hours. Very bad thing for our country.
Do you think it's because of TV and things like that, or is it?
Actually, no. There's a Mama saying that the people they accepted what they gave them, and they ate what they gave them. Peraju means they accepted what we gave them. Juerasa, they ate what they provided them. But they just destroyed the tradition.
But who's responsible? It's not the governments that destroyed it. It's
No. They could not do. They could not control them. The former military junta governments, they did not have the right to control them.
Did they control them?
No, they could not. They could not.
But they didn't try.
No. They just believed that it was not their duty to.
Oh, so you mean they didn't support?
They did not support. They did not exercise some sort of control. They did not try to control.
Right, because the shows are not political, are they?
No. They firstly they showed operas, the ones based on fiction, musical dramas, you can say musical dramas, operas, and then they showed the life, the modern plays based on contemporary life, and then the duet. Oh, that is all. They just destroyed one actor. He appeared, and he did not try to respect the tradition. He just destroyed. And then the successive young fellows appeared. They all followed his example. And the ones in Mandalay, they even did not care for the traditional play at all. It's a sad thing, you see.
It is.
A very bad thing.
Because your puppets are distinctive in Southeast Asia, aren't they? Or distinctive for your country?
No. I just disbanded my troop in about 1973. I was not, not my responsibility.
No.
They're the live showmen, live theatrical troops. They were responsible.
So since 1973, you've just concentrated on writing and
yes.
Not full-time employee or no. It's still following your passion.
Yes.
I can see with the way you talk, you clearly, after all these years, feel so passionate about.
And then I wrote.
And you've won a number of awards for your books, right?
That was only in 2011. And about my, let me tell you about my visit to the foreign countries. In 1984, the Ministry of Culture sent a government-to-government basis, you see. But there was a NGO called German Institute of Puppetry in Bochum.
Yes.
Bochum in Germany, at that time, western part of Germany. At that time, the Director General's name was Dr. Jürgen Glunter. He invited the German government, West German government, on behalf of his institute. They extended an invitation to the Ministry of Culture. And under the Ministry of Sponsorship of the Ministry of Culture, 15-member marionette troupe was sent to Germany, headed by the director of the Dance and Drama Division of the Ministry of Culture.
Right.
We were outsiders. At that time, only 2 puppeteers were employed by the department, 2 manipulators. So we were outsiders, but I was responsible for choosing the play and directing the play based on a Jataka, minor Jataka, and about a king who while out hunting in the forest, he met a demon who tried to kill him and eat him, but he promised him to send 1 man and 1 bowl of eatable to him daily. And what the king did was, as his prison was full of convicts, he sent 1 to each every day. He sent 1 man to him to be eaten by that. So
The demon.
The demon agreed to his proposal. Suddenly, slowly, gradually, the prison ran out of convicts. No more prisoners. So the king ordered the ministers to declare with a stroke of a gong, you see, to declare that to anyone wishing to go to that demon and also take a bowl of eatables to him will be offered 1,000 chats. And that the mayor, what do you call? He went with his gong strikers. He declared that anyone wishing to go to the demon will be offered 1,000 chats. In those days, about 10 million.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. So at that time, there was a young man who was a woodcutter. He agreed because he was looking after his old mother, you see. So he wished to make his mother complete, you see, provide him with so many. So he did not know that there was a demon to just sending to that someone, you see. So he agreed, and then the mayor gave him the money. At that moment, his mother came in. My son, have you not heard of Ye Dway, ogre, the guardian of that banyan tree, big tree, who ate human beings. Don't you know about that story? No, he don't. And then, upon learning the story from his mother, he gave back the bag of money to the mayor, all done by string, you see. Trick stringing, it is called. It was called trick stringing, you see. One mayor giving the bag of money to the hero.
Yeah.
And then the bag of money is in his hand, and then dropping on the floor, on the earth. The mayor taking this bag, and he tortured him.
Who tortured who?
The mayor. At the scene of tragedy, you see.
Yeah.
Or our theatre goers, they are fond of tearjerkers. No, they were fond of ngojins or weeping songs. All were sung in a very sad mood. And after the ending of the song, the orchestra plays appropriate music.
But what's the message in this story?
That let me tell you after the complete finishing of my story. Right? So the hero was beaten by the mayor, and he was forced to go to the demon. And there the demon, he tried to kill him, but he recited so many stanzas on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and he tried to kill him without success. Something like this, no? The religious theme, you see. And demon asked him what was the matter, what powers he possessed. No, he replied that I only believed in the Buddha and his Dhamma teachings and his monk order of monks only. No, at that time, and then the demon carried him to the king. You see, carried him to the palace of the king, and there the king was greatly surprised. You see, and surprised, and he the hero, Buddha to be, the Bodhisattva, he taught the king not to commit any crimes or any wrongdoing, but to believe in the three gems, you see. And the king was, his sin, he saw his own sin, he begged the hero to forgive him, and then the demon went out and gave him a very big bowl of golden bowl, see, and he was in that way the story ends happily, you see. The theme was quite clear, you see. The theme was to believe in the Buddha, his teachings, and the monks, you see. So that is the theme of the religious theme of the story. So we performed that play in Germany, and we spent nearly a month in Germany, western part of Germany. At that time, two Germanys were not reunited again. So we gave 15 performances.
Sorry, were you in East Germany?
No, Western.
You were West
Germany. That the German Institute of Puppetry, the office headquarters, was situated situated in Bochum.
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce.
I don't know the city.
Bochum.
Okay.
Bochum or Bochum. So we spent nearly a month in Western Germany, and we gave 15 performances in 13 cities.
Exhausting.
Not so big cities like Frankfurt or Bonn, or at that time the capital of West Germany was Bonn, you see,
Yeah.
not Berlin. So we were very glad.
and the people, was it done in English or done in Burmese or
No, only
no?
in Burmese.
How did you explain it to the people with
we just distributed our programs
Okay.
to the spectators.
Yeah. And I presume you didn't go from 9:30 at night till 7 in the morning.
No, only about a 1.5 hour.
Yeah.
I think, performance. But during the tragic scene, when the mayor was torturing the hero and his mother, I was free at that time. I was not on the stage, on the bridge, you see, puppet bridge. I peeped I opened a little of the cutting and saw that watched the spectators. You see, quite effective, because old man and old women, they were 80 years.
Goodness.
Really. Quite effective, our way of, our presentation.
Communicating
our performance of the traditional drama. And the young men and young women, they were also sad. They looked sad, you see. Quite effective. Because the singing of the Ngojien is very, sometimes some people, some writers, some authors, they blame the theatrical, you see. How do you say, performing artists?
Yes.
Actors and actors for singing so much of the Ngojians, you see. So much of the weeping songs, or wailing songs, you see. Because they believe that it makes the people's mentality to be, pessimistic, and also to make their characters weak. So many authors, so many writers, they blame the theatricals like that. But the spectators also wish to hear how the Ngojians were sung by the leading actors and actresses. That was a fact. They were sung very. You as an actor may sing in one way. I may sing in another way. Please let me sing one song. No, that was done by Sribot Temong of Mandalay when he came to Yangon and performed in here. At that time there was no theater, just open air theater.
Yeah.
At that time, the government was trying to revive the puppet theater, and 2 puppet troupes from Mandalay came here. One was led by Sribot Temong. The one was sponsored by Dudu Dharma, the famous authoress of Mandalay. She provided financial assistance, and she provided so many things. And that at that time, Sia Zoji U Teng Han, the famous writer, he was well versed in Western play drama also. He directed, actually helped. He aided the troops. And that time, in the play, a prince came back from Taxila in present Pakistan, the University Kingdom, you see. He passed through a forest with his two attendants, the clowns. In the forest, in a part of the forest, there was only a very big tree, very long, long height, bearing on top of it a very single fruit, you see, a very beautiful fruit. And the two attendants, they climbed up the tree, fetched it, and gave it to the prince. The prince ate it with much relish. You can find it in the book. And he found it very delicious. The prince was very tasty for him. And then, after a few moments, he felt that his whole body was on fire. And then he sang a mojan.
This is the one you're going to sing? Okay.
Yeah. About his story about going to Taxila and going there to learn 18 manly arts, going back from that, having completed his studies, going back, and then he is now in trouble. Pinyaro athara kola byam Yenzavano Machaya O Raja Pate Dekazo Dong Dong Yenzavano Machaya Raja Pate Dekazo Nebo no Matau Ta Vida Jao Deke no Ayaw Pa People So piang o ano chore amele meno teti and then the orchestra plays an appropriate postlude.
You are an amazing man.
You see, this is all form of singing of a mojan.
Yeah.
Professor Luce once told me that you Burmese people usually wept, all were in tears, men and women in tears, after singing a mojan, after hearing a mojan sung by the leading actor or actress. And then the orchestra played a postlude. It is called postlude, you see, immediately after a song. And then you were crying, you were weeping, you all are weeping. But the way we hear the music, the mojan song, you all wish you cry, but we used to dance. Professor Luce told me like that. Because only by traditional, bringing traditional conventions or dramatic practices, we hear mojans as a very, very touching, very tragic, and we feel sorry, and we sometimes if your heart is soft,
Emotional.
if you are a soft man, soft person, you may cry, you may weep, like this.
You are a remarkable man. A remarkable man.
Remarkable man in one way, but a very, very bad man in other sense.
Well, I'm honoured to have met you. I thank you so much for your time, and I hope I can do justice to putting this into a podcast.